Hi there, I'm Bill McKenna, the founder of Cognomovement. I wanted to go online today to tell everybody about an accidental discovery related to tinnitus. So I got called into a uh, session where there was a doctor who also happened to be an acupuncturist as well. And he had a patient that for 3 years had severe tinnitus, a level 9.5 out of 10. Now, when I got called in, they had been working on this from all kinds of angles. It would go down maybe 9.5 to maybe best case, a 7 or something, and then it would come right back. So I did what we do, and that is I asked some basic questions of this gentleman. I said, "Hey, how long you had this?" And he said, "Oh, it's been 3.5 years or so." Okay, so tell me about what was going on in your life 3.5 years ago. Nothing happened. He said, there was no bombs. I didn't have an ear infection. I didn't, play the stereo loud or go to a loud concert or anything. I just got this tinnitus. It's like, oh, okay, all right. So tell me, I want to expand the circle here a little bit. What was going on in your personal life? Your relationships, how were they going? Fine, fine. Yeah, no problem. Did you have anybody die? No, no, everybody's fine. Mom's fine. Everybody's fine. Okay. All right. And so tell me about your work about 3.5 years ago. Well, there was a big problem about that time. And that was, I got fired. I had been, working the same job for almost 25 years. And, there was completely unjustified. I was let go without any reason and la, 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 la. And so he was mad still about it, very upset. So, oh, okay, all right, all right. And so, just being truthful, scale of 1 to 10, how upset are you about this? He said, well, it's, real close to a 10. This has really impacted my life and everything. And, so he was still mad about it. Okay, well, let's, let's work on all of this that happened to you. Now, in Cogno movement, we know that our body expresses for us the emotions we can't process. And so what we did is we just basically worked on that trauma of being fired. It's an actual trauma. You feel it in your body. If you've ever been fired before, you can really feel it. So we work in the neurology, to let go of these emotional things that have happened to us. We did the session, and it went from a 9.5 to tinnitus 9.5, and all we're doing is working on his emotional trauma. Went down to a 7, went down, worked a little more, down to a 5, down to a 4. It just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And emotionally, his emotions processed, from a level 10, coming right down along with it. So anyway, I wanted to tell everybody about this. There appears to be a link, right? Something I didn't want to hear, right? So after the fact, there was something that made a heck of a lot of sense to me. I've had tinnitus as well. And I remember it started in my childhood. When I was young, I went through a lot of traumatic events, and there was always this buzzing in my ears. It was like I thought the TV was kind of like on or something, kind of like you in the olden days, you could hear it. Well, our physical body, your neurology is a carrier. The neurological connections are carriers of an electronic, actual electricity throughout your entire body. And to me, this sounds like an electronic resistance, that I used to hear. So I don't know, but that was just kind of an interesting afterthought. Thing I wanted to bring forward to you today is consider, when did this start? When did it start for you, your tinnitus? How long ago? And look at the wheel of your life, your finances, your relationship, your people in your life, and the way you were treated, all different aspects. And just see, is there something for you there? Is there something, a grief of some kind, maybe that you didn't process, you pushed down? Maybe you're in a situation in your life where you're just like, you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just keep going, ignore the pain of the breakup, ignore the pain of the loss, whatever it might be. Anyway, thank you, and I hope this helps.